can hide this. Okie dokie. All right. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us for our Commissions in Command class. The overall goal of this class is to get you paid faster. That is really what it all boils down to. So between myself as the tech trainer and Jess, who is the MCA, we're going to be reviewing how you guys are going to be entering your commitment information, how you would plug in referrals, deductions, etc., and some other little tips and tricks along the way. Again, this is all because we want you to get paid as fast as possible.
Yeah.
By having your documents uploaded into Command and having your commission request submitted prior to the deal closing, this will allow Jess to pay you in a faster amount of time. And it'll also give you time to get any errors fixed that may have come up. Because there's nothing worse than your deal being closed and then you have to go to your buyer after a week and say, hey, I forgot to get the wire fraud form signed from you, do you mind doing that? We want to avoid that as much as possible. So by following these steps, we're gonna make sure that you guys are feeling comfortable. And so what we're gonna do is create two different opportunities and go through them. The first is gonna be for a listing and the second is gonna be for a buyer. So I am going to click on create opportunity, as I'm sure we all know what to do. Now you won't have to do this, but since I am in Janine's account, I have to. When you pick the opportunity type, it is most important that you select the right one. This is the only thing that cannot be changed once an opportunity is created. So always want to make sure you're selecting the correct one. You can rename the opportunity name. So if you know the property address, you can add it in to make it easier for yourself.
It's also, I feel like, the best practice to name it the address, because a lot of times what I've found is when I'm searching for your opportunity, times I can't find it is when it's not labeled in the opportunity name, or if it's not tagged in another.
Yes. So definitely, if you were working with a seller, you know that property address right off the bat. For a buyer, you can change the opportunity name later if you'd like, but at least when you're doing a listing, put in that property address, because as Jess said, it's gonna make everyone's life easier.
Yeah, and it also just helps you become more organized in
Yes.
being able to find those things quickly.
Absolutely. Tags, estimated close date, time frame, not terribly important. We do recommend putting in that estimated listing price if you do have that number, as well as a commission rate. The commission rate is required. If you are not sure what it is going to be, you can always change it later on and plug in a dummy number. Now, as you all know, when you are creating an opportunity, it allows you to put it in one of three phases: cultivate, appointment, and active. If you know the opportunities well, you know there are two more phases available: under contract and closed. The reason we cannot create an opportunity in the under contract or closed section is because according to the system, you do not want to wait that long. Ideally, you want to create this opportunity as soon as you even have an inkling that this potential client may want to work with you. So if you have a meeting with someone and they say, Maura, I really like you, I'm not ready to make a move. Maybe after the holidays come December, January, I'll feel better. That's no problem at all. You can still create that opportunity and put them in the cultivate bucket. When you're looking at your opportunity pipeline, this will help you to make sure you're doing the proper follow-up, and will also help you to visualize any potential deals that are coming down your pipeline.
It's also, though, important to notate that when it does become active, to move it to the active phase, because if it's in the cultivate stage, we on the leadership side cannot see your opportunities. So if you've created everything, you've loaded all of your documents and you submitted the commission request, and I reach out and say, hey, I don't see an opportunity here in the system for you. There's a good chance that it's because it's still in the cultivate stage and you didn't bring it to active and or closed.
Yep.
So for us, it's invisible. Again, this is a good way to organize your closings and stuff. As Amanda said, if they're not ready to buy, you're putting it in cultivate, but once it becomes active, definitely make sure you go and change that so we can find it later on, and then that saves time of communicating of, oh no, I created the opportunity, blah, blah, blah.
Absolutely, and just to piggyback off of that, they did make a few changes when they did this revision, where now when you submit the commission request or you accept an offer when you're in the commission stage, it will turn to active if it's not already there. But when you're working with the documents and you're uploading documents, that won't automatically change the opportunity phase. So I'm gonna leave it in cultivate so we can watch it turn to active once we get to that point. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on create, plug that there. And now I'm gonna go and click on the correct opportunity that we have created. We wait patiently, there we go. So now I'm in the opportunity section. Just so you know, you can always click on this little pencil button, and this is where you can come in and change your opportunity phase. You're gonna see now you have the active and under contract, or I'm sorry, under contract and closed options. This is also where you can put in the property address, and you do need to link your opportunity to a listing. And we're going to show you a few workarounds with this in the offers and commissions section. So we're not gonna talk about documents today. We're just gonna jump into offers and commissions. So what I'm gonna do is just simply create an offer. And if you are working with a property that is already on the market, you're gonna click on select from KWLS. And then you wanna click on this menu to see all listings. You can then go in and try to find that listing. So for example, that was a bad example. But you can search by street address, by MLS. I'm trying to think of a property that someone has on the market right now. Chicago. I'm blanking on the full property address, so that's why we cannot find it. But if you do know the full property address, you are able to put it in there and find that listing, and then you simply click on select.
So another thing that you can do is to make it a little less overwhelming in terms of like you're getting
10,000 results.
right from agents from all different offices. If you go from all listings to my market center listings, you can see listings in just our office listed by our agents.
Excellent point, and you can also change the status, so as you can see, we're seeing some active listings, leased, internal active, but if you wanted to see anything that was simply for sale, you can narrow it down that way, and then you would simply just click on this select button, and that will then loop your property address in. Now, if you were in a situation, we got someone in the chat here. Oh, perfect. Thanks, Monica, for that address. Let me see. So I can simply close that out, and if I just wanted to plug in an address and type it in there, I can also find it here as well. So if you know the property address, you don't even have to search there, you can just type it in, so long as it is listed on an MLS. Now, if you do have an office exclusives or something like that, you still need to create a KWLS exclusive listing. So in that case, we're gonna click on create MC exclusive listing. When we do that, this listing would show in the My MC Listing tab for all the other agents in the office. But when we are putting in this information, for the listing category, we have the option to select sold, rented, or leased, so that way if you're putting in a home that you closed a deal on, you want everyone else to know it's no longer on the market, even though they may see that information. So that's where we can come in and put in the sold option. For the property type, pick your poison, and then property subtype, you're just gonna pick whatever fits best, so I'm just gonna click on single family detached. Listing dates are optional, you do need to enter in the current price, so I'm gonna put in 500,000. And then the street address will go here. So I'm just gonna choose a random address. It's gonna fill everything in. I'm gonna click on I understand and agree, because again, this is not gonna show up in any other market center, just ours. create and select listing. Now, after you hit that create and select listing, you are going to be brought to this page where it says matching addresses are found. Now, these two examples here were created today as we were practicing our class, so normally they wouldn't be there. But you're going to see that there are some other homes available that have very similar addresses. Obviously, this is not any of the properties that we're looking for. So please note that there is a continue to create and select listing option here. You will need to select this button in order for that exclusive listing to register in the system. So once I click on that button, it'll do a little refresh, and now we see that that property address is here and my MC exclusive listing was created. Then we're just going to fill in some more information. So this is a residential deal. Classification. If you have a new construction, that's classified as new home. If you're selling a home on behalf of the seller, it's a resale. So just want to make that distinction there. The seller information will already be filled in, and then the buyer info. The minimum you need is the buyer name, but you can also put in the agent representative here. You will need to put in the sales price, and you can notate if there is any sort of money down. Thank you, down payment. So let's say if they are offering $500,000 for the sales price, but they're going to be putting down $200,000 as a down payment. The system knows that financed amount is $300,000. You do need to put in the contract date as well as the close date, even though that's not notated with that required star. So let's say we went under contract September 1st, and our closing date is going to be the end of the month. This is where you can add any additional comments. So if you're familiar with the previous way we inputted offers, where you can create multiples and then compare the offers, you still have this spot here to put in any of your information and suggested feedback for your clients. So I'm just going to click on create offer right now just to show you what this will look like. So this should all look familiar. And that little pop-up came up, but we did see it said opportunity change to active. So if I go into details here, it is now in the active stage. So the commissions will do that for you. But again, the document portion will not have anything that will trigger the opportunity to move phases, even if you do submit all 3 checklists. So we've got all the kinks worked out, and now I am ready to accept this offer. So I'm going to click on accept. Now we're under contract. System is getting smarter by the day. So I can either change the response if I needed to fix anything here, or I'm going to come in and manage the commission. So now that we are here, we're going to see very similar to the previous view. We have our general information. Now we have the commission information and our agent payment section. So if you put this commission request in and then a few weeks later you need to change perhaps the sales price or even your commission rate, you still have that opportunity to do so. You would just click in this general info button, just change the sales price here. And you can change those dates too if you need. Now, we see our listing information here, so we see the total commission amount, and then down here is going to be the agent payment. So what happens if we have a referral of someone who's either in our office or outside of our office? Let's start with an internal referral. And as we all hopefully know, an internal referral is going to be another KWPV agent. So even though we are one of 5 Keller Williams market centers within Bergen County, only if you are working with another agent in this office is it considered internal. And that's because each of the offices has its own broker. So that is that designation there. So let's say I did work with someone in our office. I'm going to click on add another agent. And then I can go in and begin to plug their information in. So let's say Maura, I did the deal with you. You're going to notice that you can type in anyone's name within your office and it will pop up automatically. So depending on how you decided to split everything, you may be splitting the unit or not. If that is the case, you're going to come up here and, I don't know, maybe Maura's getting 25% of the unit. Well, I guess it would be half. Let's just do half. 0.5. it's telling me that half of the units are over distributed, and that's fine. What we're gonna notice within this new process is that the system's gonna tell us whenever something is not balanced. So right now, this is telling me that this number is not balanced, and I know I'm gonna need to fix that elsewhere. So in addition to splitting the unit, we're also going to be splitting the total commission. So I can manually come here and say, okay, so that it's gonna be 6,250. And again, it's saying that 6,250 is over distributed, that's fine. I'm gonna click on save. So the other agent has been created, and I can come here and see her breakdown. But as the system told us, these numbers are not matching up. So what we're gonna need to do is go into our agent payment section. And it's telling us exactly where we need to fix. So Maura's getting half, I'm getting half. And this is where I can also come in and say, okay, we're splitting the deal equally. So I adjusted the agent gross commission as well as the agent units.
I think it's important to note here too, if you have another agent on the deal and you're keeping the full unit, you can do that. Like you can keep the full unit and give them just a portion of the commission. Their unit would just be 0, and then their commission would be whatever you're paying out to them.
Absolutely, so let's put that example into play here, so. And that is a great example, so let's say Maura's not getting any of the units, but she's still gonna get. What's a quarter of this? 31.25. See, this is why we need someone who's good at math. So she's gonna get a quarter of the gross commission, so I'm gonna click on save.
You'd have to just put 0.
Oh, there we go. Make sure you actually type in those numbers. And then I'm gonna go back and fix my section, so now I'm gonna go back, and again, 0.5 is left, so I'm gonna fix that to 1, that error's good. And now I can add that 31.25.
Is there a way to like click a button and it automates?
It used to do that, but not anymore. It used to have that button, but it has since gone away. This is gonna be 9,375. Right? I did math, guys, this is a great day. Okay, so now I'm gonna go and click on save again. And now everything is balanced and we're seeing that I am keeping the full unit. Maura's not getting any credit for the unit, but she is getting that 25% referral fee here. And you will always be able to see this breakdown on the right-hand side as well.
So let's just say too, like, let's say you put the 2 agents in and you didn't do the, like, let's just say you put 1 unit for where Janine is and you left the 0.5. The system won't let you submit it because it's still not balanced. So no matter what, it's gonna double check you and make sure that you're aware that what you did needs correcting if that happens. So what I always like to say is there's always a catch, like or a net that can catch you if you make a mistake to help you.
So I just went in and I changed it, so now we have 1.5 units spread between the 2 agents. And if I click on submit.
Are they gonna do it? Did it change? They used to know. Like you. Like skip deletions for all.
There we go,
I was gonna
okay, we
say.
just needed to make sure. So even though we went to submit this commission request, it's telling us that the units are unbalanced, so we're gonna have to go in and fix that. So like Jess said, if there are any errors, the system is gonna catch it. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna remove Maura as our internal agent. And now I am going to just come, now we're gonna add an outside referral. So an outside referral would be any other agent who is not a Keller Williams partnership agent. So if they're in the Fort Lee office, the Ridgewood office, if they're with Coldwell Banker, Whitecurt, whatever the deal is, they're going to be an outside referral. Do you have a question?
So yes, I'm actually working with a buyer and I need to give 25% referral to different agent when we close. So do I need to do these once we?
Yep. So we'll go through the steps of what you're gonna need, but yes, you will need to do this part. And I'm kind of jumping ahead here, but you're also gonna need to get a W-9 from that office. If this is someone you work with regularly, the first time that you have that transaction, you'll get the W-9. every time after that, it's already gonna be in the system, so you only have to get the W-9 once. But if this is the first time you're working with them, yes. No matter what though, if there's a referral on the commission, it always has to go into the opportunity that, for the property that it applies to. Does that make sense? Okay.
So great point. So let's come in here. We're not gonna click on add another agent because it's not part of our office. This is where we're going to use the outside referral option. So as Jess said, we're gonna need to put in some extra additional information. You can put in the referral amount here, so maybe it's 25%. This is where it will do its magic and automatically calculate the money for you, which is very helpful for me. Representative name. This is going to be the name of the agent. So let me just see. So here's an example of an agent that's already in the system, Tony Navin from the Fort Lee office. I clicked on his information and it fills everything in, but I just want to show you. For the representative name, that's the agent name. The company name / DBA, this would be Keller Williams City Views. The legal name would be Lencioni Real Estate LLC. So this one has a little bit of a boo-boo. And that's okay. Let me see,
You're in the company.
oh, that's fine. Oh, so company name, Keller Williams. Okay, wow, brain fart. City Views. So City Views Realty. And then the legal name would then be Lencioni Real
What's the legal
Estate LLC.
So on a W-9, there's a spot, so the legal name and the company name could be the same. So for instance, we're Keller Williams Parkviews, that's how everybody knows us. But legally, according to the IRS, our name is Maxwell Real Estate Advisors. So this is, you're filling out what the W-9 says. So getting that form helps you fill this out. If you don't have this information, you can't fill this part out. And then at that point, we do run into the risk of, did you let me know that there was a referral? Did I already process the check and pay you? Because there will be times where I'll process something and someone forgot and emails me and says, oh, hey, I forgot, we have to pay a referral on this. And that's fine, everything's fixable. But in order to avoid that and get paid faster, it's important to be able to get that information into the system. If you need help, we can go through it together, like that's completely fine, but getting this information here and putting it in here, it's basically you telling me, hey, we gotta pay a referral on this. And then it mitigates the, oh, wait, I forgot, or the, hey, whatever other things come up in terms of that. So the legal name is just what they're registered as with the IRS. You'll find that on the W-9, and like I said, it could be the same as their company name, or it could be different how we have it. Yeah.
Question, we might as well be here, but.
Yeah, you're good.
Question, the Maxwell Real Estate Advisors, is that for all Keller Williams or just?
Just us, cause every office is independently owned, so like even Ridgewood, who we're affiliated with, they have their own LLC name.
Oh.
And then same as Fort Lee and all that, like we're affiliated with all of those other offices, but they all have their own LLCs because they're individual entities. Yes,
So W-9 or 1099?
W-9. 1099 is what you receive and that you get, like what I give you at the end of the year that you bring to your accountant, and that's how you file your taxes. A W-9 is basically saying, this is what my EIN number is, so it's a company typically. Agents also will have, you can fill out a W-9 and you can put your social security information. It's basically telling someone how to pay you. It's an IRS form. Because when you get paid, like even as a W-2 employee, you have to fill something like that out. Because you have to give your social security number information in order to tell them this is how you pay me, because the IRS tracks that stuff as well. So we submit it for your 1099, but it's the same thing. Oh, yeah, here's a perfect example. So like for you as an individual, you would put just your name and you would disregard the second column. And then in here, you would make yourself an individual, but then once you start getting into companies, it gets a little more complex with entering information. You don't need to know how to fill it out for them. All you have to do is request the information from them, and then you'll see it all here. There's no guessing.
Yeah.
You're just writing in what they put on the W-9. And again, if you get confused and you need help, you just come see me and we'll do it together.
Question two.
Yeah.
Are they gonna switch over to, can we make a company and then bring the expenses to the company, or bring our paychecks to the company? Or-
As of right now, no.
Okay.
LLC, that is in the works. They're saying by the end of the year, that should be something that is official. Joyce is saying it could be anytime now, but then I started hearing February, it's happening very soon. And at that point, we're gonna send out lots of communications saying like, hey, if you formed an LLC, send us your information, we'll get it all updated, that kind of thing. And then we will be able to pay your LLC for checks.
Okay, cause right now we can't do much write-offs, right? Cause like. I had-
You can do write-offs,
It's
you
like-
could, your invoicing, your processing fees, you donate to KW Cares, all of those can be write-offs. Talk to your accountant about that, cause I'm also not a tax professional, so you just wanna make sure that you're getting the right information from them, but those are things that you would be able to write off depending on what your accountant says. So you would just get copies of your invoices, you would get copies of your processing fees with checks and stuff like that, and then business expenses, so like gas to travel and stuff like that. There are things you can, I would, like I said, talk to your accountant, they would know way better than I would. And then you do have some write-offs, but you'll have more as an LLC, I do believe, yeah.
So on the W-9, like Jess said, you have the name and the business name here. And then the EIN, the employer identification number, that's gonna be in this section here.
So think of that, that's essentially the social security number of a
Of the
business.
business, right? And you'll see here that there's a TIN, that's a taxpayer identification number, so that would be for an individual, whereas the employer identification number, that is the employer of the company.
So actually the TIN is just the overall, and then there's the subcategories, which is your social security or your EIN.
See, I know
Sorry.
nothing. I know nothing.
No, you're
I'm literally from Schitt's Creek where they're like, it's a write-off. Who pays for it? The government. Well, how do they pay for it? I don't know. It's a write-off. That's my level of accounting and tax knowledge, so listen to Jess on this portion. But that EIN tax number, that will go here.
Mhm.
So when the time comes, if you guys do have any questions putting in the information for a specific agent, just let us know. We'll be happy to put that in for you. So let me just, 1 second, I'm just gonna re-add him in. So we've got all of this information. Perfect, and then let me just put in the 25%. Everything is filled in. Office nickname, city views, and we're gonna click on add outside referral. So now we have the outside referral information under the commission information. So what needs to be balanced? The pay. So it's and the units, sorry. So I'm gonna then come into the agent payment. No, we didn't do units, I apologize,
So the reason that this is showing that it's unbalanced here on the screen is because even though you're sending an outside referral, you're still putting your gross commission as the total amount. So you're still gonna put the 12,500 because there's a box in here where you'll be able to put how much the outside referral is for. And just so everybody knows for reference, you don't get the split, like it gets calculated on the difference, not on the full amount. So you're not paying the extra 30% on the full 12,500, you're paying it on the difference between the gross commission and the outside referral amount. Does that make sense? So like this 12,500, that's the total gross commission, but we're paying the referral of 3,125. We're not paying a 70-30 split on the 12,500. We're paying a 70-30 split on the 9,375.
so when I click on save now,
I think you have to refresh it because that's from before.
Ta-da, you were correct. So now. As Jess said, the total commission is here, and then the outside referral is here.
So the total commission is the amount that's on the check that's being sent to KW Parkviews.
Any questions about inside or outside referrals? Okay, cool.
Do we see, does it pop up if anybody?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, if anyone in Zoom land's got a question, just type it in the chat. But now what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna remove this outside referral. And we are going to do something a little easier, which is adding in a bonus. So when you are working on a listing, you may get that MLS listing fee as a bonus. And you are gonna simply add that in under your edit agent payment. There is a section right here for bonus. So I can type in however much that is. It's telling me there's $300 over distributed. That's fine, we are going to fix it. Did I put it in the wrong spot?
No, so you would put it in the two different spots.
Yes.
So it's a little bit different with the bonus as well, because when you add the bonus and the gross commission, it should equal the total amount of the check.
So it's good to put it in under the listing commission first.
Yeah. So that's just like the overall general, yeah.
You're not supposed to get bonus, okay?
So it's called bonus, but essentially it's when you have a listing, do you charge other agents an MLS fee?
Say the question again?
When you have a listing, so let's say you just put a listing up, do you charge other agents on the buy side a listing fee? Like an MLS fee. That's what the bonus is. It's the
Yes.
MLS fee that you're collecting. So like you put things on the MLS, you pay $25 to put it on Garden, you pay $30 to put it on NJ. And then you usually will put an MLS fee of $275, $300, whatever you do. That's what we put in the system as the bonus.
As a bonus.
Yeah.
So the terminology within Command is the same for every agent across the country. Obviously, real estate works a little bit different as you go from state to state, so that's why sometimes the verbiage may not match up completely with what we mean. But just a little inside knowledge for you guys that it looks the same for everyone. Now we're gonna go into that other section to balance it out, but we do wanna point out there is an option to split or not split the bonus with the market center. And we recommend toggling this off. That way, that extra couple $100 is all going to you and it's not being incorporated as part of your split. So now I'm gonna click on,
And the reason that's even an option is because some market centers, KW market centers, will include it in the split. We don't. So that's why. So that 70-30 split, you're not gonna get that 70-30 split on that $300, just the remaining balance.
so this is actually very handy, so because we started in the listing commission section, we added in that 300. We see Janine's name here, I'm gonna click on update. It's gonna take me right into the agent payment section, and this is where then I can add in that $300.
So this is what I'm
Over distributed,
Right, no, it's okay. So in the agent gross commission where it says 12,500, this is what I was talking about before. The gross commission plus the bonus should equal the total amount. So the total is still gonna be the total of the check will still be 12,500, but the agent gross commission will be 12,200. Because 12,200 plus the $300 bonus is the full amount of the check of $12,500. Does that make sense? So her commission amount, are you in the main thing or?
Now I'm on the listing commission.
Okay, so put the 300.
It's here. Should I have not done that?
It says commission amount is balanced.
Total agent bonus exceeds total. Hold on, guys. See, we're still,
Oh, no, wait, leave the 300 and just
300.
make this 12,200. And then make that 12,200. And then you have. There we go. It's just where it was put, so again, what we just did. So the total amount of the check was $12,500. But we know $300 of that is an MLS fee that you wanna collect, and in the system, it's marked as bonus. So we're gonna take that $300 out of that 12,500. And we're gonna put it in the bonus section, and the remaining 12,200 is gonna go in the total commission amount. And we do that because you're only gonna get the 70-30 split on the 12,200. You don't wanna, you wanna keep the full bonus.
But this is changing the overall commission though. Cause wouldn't the commission amount would still be 12,500.
Right, but then when you add the two, it is still 12,500. It
But
should be,
shouldn't it be 12,800?
no. If the check comes in for $12,500, like if that's what we receive. On the commission statement, we're gonna see, maybe in
It'll
this
be-
case with the percentages, but the way that we had the example of the total being 12,500. If that was the case, if we got the check for 12,800, then yes, you're correct, it would be 12,500 with a $300 bonus. But if the check we received was 12,500, then it would be 12,200 as your commission with a
Take that
$300 bonus.
Okay, so it's sort of a big per situation kind of.
Right, so if we wanted to do it at a 2.5% commission rate, then yeah, it would be the 12,500 plus 300 for 12,008.
Right.
But we were just kind of going off with this example, if the check we received was 12,500.
I'm not good at the math, I can show you guys how to use the system, but when it comes to the math, that's not my strong suit. Alright, but everything is balanced now, so we're just gonna hit on save, and now we see that total bonus here. And that total bonus is added to the top. So it's not going to be part of that deduction in the commission and royalty split. No, see, cause then this is the same number.
Scroll down. Did it add the bonus to her thing?
Yes. Oh, cause it's changed the overall commission rate. That's why it's saying 12-12. Or 12-2. Hold on, guys, we're gonna figure this out. Hold on, let's kick that out. Let's change this back.
Well, that's what I was talking about, is if you're doing it at a 2.5% rate, then yeah, it would. But then the check we would receive in the office would be for 12,800. And then it would still be the same process that I just explained, it's just a different amount on the check. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I think so. 5 million. Yeah, that one, okay. So yeah, depending on how everything is split, it might be a little bit different, on how you input that information. Man, remember when I said the bonuses was gonna be easier? I was lying. Alright, is anyone super confused on that, or are you guys good, and you could be honest, please?
I knew I did that.
The bonus,
You just lumped it into the gross? Or what did you do when you had a listing?
I think you did it for me.
I probably did.
I'm sorry.
Because what I'll see a lot of times too is if I see on the commission statement that your bonus was $300, but you put the full amount in the gross, I adjust it for you. So if you're listening to this and you're like, oh my god, I've never done this, chances are I fixed it for you. But now that's why we're talking about it, so that you guys are learning how it's done properly, and then in the future, it makes it easier and faster, because now we're not going through checking paperwork, editing it, and it's just there in the system. Because you guys know your deals better than anybody, because they're your deals. But my responsibility is to check and make sure that everything is accurate, so I'm checking what the purchase price was, I'm looking on your altas. I'm double checking to make sure that that's accurate, I'm checking what the price was that was received, and making sure that it matches the check amount that we got. If there's a discrepancy, I'll reach out to you and I'll say, hey, you put that we were supposed to get 7,500, but we only got 6,000. And then a lot of times people will be like, oh, there was this happened, oh, this happened, blah, 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 and it just wasn't an updated form. So I'm always on your guys' team, I'm always checking to make sure that everything is right and accurate, so you're getting credit for things that you're supposed to. But this is just to show you how to do it, is all.
Okay, so that was the bonus portion, now we're gonna cover deductions. And that would be a charitable contribution that you can choose to make on a one-off transaction, or you can make a reoccurring deduction, AKA donation. So if you wanted to check out this information, when you click on edit agent payment and you scroll down, this is where you can see additional deductions. So the Bold Scholarship is here, KW Cares, KW Next Gen, etc. So you can add in any money amounts there. One thing that you're not going to see listed is our local KW Rutherford Cares Fund. So that is the pool of money that is used to benefit our agents directly. If you wanted to make any contributions there, you're simply going to click on add deduction. And under search deductions, we have it plugged in. So if you start typing in Rutherford, you're going to see Rutherford Cares Local Fund. And then you have the ability to select a number or a percentage. So if you say, I want to donate $50, beautiful. If you say, I want to donate 2% of my check, beautiful. Whatever it is that you want to do, click on add deduction. We're going to hit save. And then see that little adjustment happen right there. And doesn't show up here, but I think it would probably show up under the payment breakdown.
It should show up.
Additional deductions, Rutherford Cares Local Fund.
And then if you just wanna go back into the deductions, because there's other deductions as well. So this may or may not apply to you, but if you go to add deduction again, and you click start, okay, so we're here. So if you're ever part of sync, and this is a sync closing, if you have, where is it? Productivity, if you're part of the productivity coaching program, you're able to add these deductions here. Again, if you don't add them, I add them for you. Unless it's like a donation, I don't add that unless you tell me. But like in terms of like, if this is a sync closing, which some of you might not know what that is, it's a leads program. So if you're part of that, we would add that here. Same thing as productivity coaching, if you're in the coaching program, the deduction would also go here. You don't necessarily need to know that, like I said, I will do it on the back end for you, but just so you know, this is exactly where these deductions go as well. The only thing that you really should focus on is if you would like to donate to Rutherford Cares, you would do it here.
Absolutely. If you are looking to set up a reoccurring deduction, that's actually gonna be done outside of an opportunity. So let me jump over, when you click on your name on the upper right corner, you're gonna click on My Profile. This is gonna show you all of your information, your bio, your contact info, etc. When we click on nope, hold on, my bad. When we click on my affiliations, you guys will not see about me. Why am I blanking? Person. Here we go. I clicked on the wrong thing. See, guys, it's fine. Okay, so compensation. When I click on compensation under a market center, this is where you are able to see your cap status. So this will show you how close you are to reaching that company dollar split, as well as the royalty fee. And then if we scroll down, this is where we are going to see the ability to set up a reoccurring deduction. So you would just click on manage deductions, then this is going to pop up so you can choose again a numeric amount or a percentage for KW Cares and or KW Next Gen, which is helping to empower the next generation of entrepreneurs and leaders. We have the Bold Scholarship. And we can also, for other deductions, in the Rutherford Market Center only, if I click on this button, then again, I can click on the Rutherford Cares Local Fund, and then I can say, all right, I want to donate $25 from every recurring deduction.
So doing this, setting this up and creating recurring deductions, this means on every single closing check you have, this will be applied. So if you wanted to have something set up where 1% of every commission check goes to Rutherford Cares, this is how you would do it.
Yeah.
If you don't want it to apply to every single check, then I would say do it manually. Or if you say, okay, most of my checks I wanted to, maybe 1 or 2 I don't want to, then maybe set up the recurring deduction and then you can always remove it when you go into your actual opportunity. So you can pick and choose how you wanna do it, if this is something that interests you or that applies to you.
Absolutely. So we would just click on that there, and again, you can do as little as $5, I mean, you can do as little as $1 per transaction. You know, every little bit counts, but on whatever you guys are comfortable with, every penny counts and it is a great help. So if you wanted to set up that reoccurring deduction, where it would automatically take back money, percentage or number from every check, you just click on that button there. And then again, you know, if you wanted to donate to the National KW Cares or any other thing, you can set that amount up here as well. And then I believe I have a feeling the timeline will show you all of the deductions that you've made over the past however long. So yeah, that's how you would add in all the deductions. So again, that's gonna be under my profile, and then you're gonna go to the market center and then click on compensation or deductions. Either way, it's the same page, just brings you down. So really quickly, I wanna just set up a buyer opportunity and run through that process. It is very similar. So I'm gonna create an opportunity. Rutherford is gonna be a buyer. Just to set that apart. Put in that commission rate, click create. Here's that opportunity. So this is very, very similar to how we put in the offer and commission for the listing. So we're gonna come right over here, add new offer. And what do you know, this looks nearly identical. So what we're gonna do again is either search for that location. And let's see, I hope that's the one that I put in, if not, it will tell us. Property type residential, classification resale. Now, this is where you would put in the seller's name, so. Jess selling house. And this is her agent. Same thing, sales price, 500,000. Maybe we're doing 100,000. Whoops, that's $1 million, that's a lot. Didn't know you were in this money bags over there. Put in the
Was.
contract
I'm
date.
selling the house, getting them.
Closing date, add in any information. Now, this is a little bit different because this is, you know, putting in a buyer offer. So you may wanna wait to get to this point until your offer has been accepted and you're under contract and ready to go, because then you can just click on create and accept offer. So it's been created, move to active. Now it's in under contract because I'm already in this commission management section. So the process of actually putting in that commission request, practically identical, just some information flip-flopped when you're representing the seller versus the buyer.
And just to harp on what Amanda said, you wanna do this when you go under contract, you don't wanna wait until this closes, because if you wait until this closes, that's gonna delay getting paid. Because let's say this happens frequently, let's say it closes, I received the check in the office, but a commission request hasn't been created. Well, then it's from the time it takes me to reach out to you, for you to see the email, for you to reply back, to actually do the commission request, to submit it to me, to be able to find it again. That could be a couple days in between. So by submitting it before it even closes and you're under contract, it's happening. It makes the process go that much faster. And then as soon as I get the check in the office, I don't have to reach out to you. You don't have to see the email, all of that kind of stuff that I just said. And all I'm doing is processing the check and sending you your check. So it just helps make the process go a lot faster.
Everything here is the same, whether you're entering an inside and outside referral. Now, you won't be doing a bonus for this, but you may need to add a deduction. And Ms. Jessica will do a concession.
So no, let's just say now you're on the buy side, so instead of getting that extra $300, you have to pay that out to the listing agent, right? So instead of adding like a negative bonus or a concession or anything like that, all we're doing is taking the total commission amount you're supposed to receive, so 2.5 minus 300. You're just gonna hard code it to 12,200, that's all you do. So it's whatever the total amount you're gonna get on the buy side.
That's correct. So now the commission percentage changed, that number amount, and we just need to come and balance it in the agent payment section. So we're just gonna come in here, change that to subtract that 300 and click save. And what you can always do is add in a little note, $300 deducted from commission amount for NJMLS listing fee, or whatever it is you wanna write.
And just as it says notes to market center, I see this. So
Yes.
if you even wanna say something like, I don't know,
So, you know, you could say like,
anything,
set to close 10:30, might have slight price adjustment, something like that. Because as Jess said, you wanna submit this well before you close on the 30th. By submitting this and giving her this little memo, she has the idea that something might happen. And if something does change down the road, Jess is gonna go in and handle it on the back end. After you submit this request, you won't be able to change anything, but that's okay. If you submit the request, the deal is still good to go, but there's a slight price adjustment or something that needs to be changed. Email Jess, she'll take care of it for you. We want to avoid terminating these commission requests as much as possible.
The only time we're gonna terminate is if the deal dies.
Right.
Cause then there's no more deal. But let's just say we submit it, you're not allowed, you can't, it's not capable of editing it anymore. But let's just say, like Amanda said, the price goes from 500,000 to 470 and you wanna accurately depict it. Well, you just send me an email and I just will go adjust it on the back end for you. So then now you don't have to recreate a whole new commission request, you don't have to resubmit it, you don't have to do all of those other extra steps, just send me the email and I take care of it for you.
And you can use that notes section to put in any bit of information, so.
Anything you wanna tell me,
Yeah.
essentially, cause I'm gonna be the one that sees it. So anything that you wanna say, like, this should be wired by Friday, this, like what Amanda wrote, this might have a slight price adjustment, like things you want me to know. I check these things anyways, but if there's anything in particular, you could just write it. If you just wanna say hi, you could write hi.
TGIF.
Yeah.
Now, I just want to remind you guys that in addition to all of the training videos that we have on our YouTube channel and all of our other fun resources, you do have this website available for you. It's answers.kw.com. And this is going to provide you with step-by-step guides with pictures and GIFs and lists and all of that fun stuff for anything that you're looking for. So if I click on the command option, I'm gonna see a breakdown for help and support, access command. I mean, things as basic as how to log into the system. But then we can say, all right, I need help with something within an opportunity. I'm gonna come down to opportunities. I need help with an offer and commission. I'm gonna click on that. And here's where I can say, okay, I have a deductions question or whatever the case may be. How do I set up that reoccurring deduction? Any article you're looking for, you'll be able to find it. Like I said, it gives you pictures, it points you where you need to go. And there is also a search function as well. I'm gonna search for everything that has to do with commissions. I can type that in. Just note before you click on a link, check to see when it was published because you're gonna wanna make sure you're looking at things from 2024. They still have some of the old guides from previous versions of the system. They may be updated, I'm not sure, but for example, I mean, this says we've replaced green sheets, it's from 2019. You know,
You guys probably don't even know. What
yeah, no, just you'll be good. Worst comes to worst, you email me, I'll send it to you and I'll help you out, but this is going to allow you to say, okay, here's how I get from point A to point B to point C to point D. And it's gonna give you all of that great information. But hopefully this class gave you guys some more comfortability in filling out the new commissions process. Hopefully we answered some of your questions about inside and outside referrals, adding in that bonus, setting up recurring deductions. And If you guys ever do need any additional support, we're here for you. And I think we're gonna come back for round 2 where we're gonna focus on rentals, so stay tuned for that.
Cause it's generally the same process, but there are a few minor differences,
Mhm.
so definitely something that you wanna take.
Yes, absolutely.
But is there any questions right now of like everything that we went over, anything that anybody wants to bring up?
Anyone in the Zoom land? No. Oh, all right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you,
Bye, guys.
bye.